I believe we are live. It is Direct Mail Monday, January 18th, 2021. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the most pivotal, consequential, transformational leaders, certainly of my lifetime, stolen from all of us way too soon. We commemorate his life today, even though his birthday was technically a few days ago. It's one of those Monday holiday things here in the U.S. Anyway, because it's Martin Luther King Day and a federal holiday, no mail arriving in the mailbox today. But I'm going to share with you something that arrived a little while back, a couple weeks ago. And it arrived not in my mailbox, but it arrived via FedEx. So this is an example for those of you out there that are still somehow clinging to the belief that, oh, but Steve, I don't know why you do a Direct Mail Monday video every week. Direct mail doesn't work. I tried it. It doesn't work. Well, you didn't try it like this, because believe me, this gets a response. Now, is every single contact that you make with direct mail worth this much time, energy, cost, investment? It's for you to decide. But if it matters, if it's something that matters, if it's a consequential communication, then an email, a text message, a social media message, all that BS just ain't going to cut it anywhere near as much as this is. And right away, you can see why a big FedEx package arrived. So right away, I know this person invested some money and did not sit there with again, an email or a Facebook message or a whatever. And I make the analogy, often you hear me say it, to wedding invitations. If you really want somebody to show up at your wedding, would you send them a text message and go, hey, you're invited? You send them what's known as, become a phrase in the language for when you really want someone to attend. It's known as an engraved invitation. Do you need me to send you an engraved invitation? Well, again, when in business, the connection is worth it, can really result in something big for you, you might realize that it's worth not just sending some online nonsense or even just a letter in an envelope, blah, boring, whatever, so that people would say, direct mail doesn't work. Yeah, of course, if you're looking at the bottom line, you're focusing on the wrong thing, right? If you're looking for the cost of that direct mail piece, like, oh, it's 50 cents plus the envelope plus the piece of paper, it's $1 to mail that thing. Oh, if I mail 100 of them, that costs me $100. You're looking at all the wrong thing. What if you mail those 100 to your dream 100, as it's known, your 100 best prospects, or 100 people that could really make one connection for you that could be worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars? I've certainly made many seven-figure connections for people over the years. I have a humongous Rolodex. I know all kinds of influential people, and the people I know all kinds of influential people. So the degrees of separation, the old 6 degrees of separation thing with Kevin Bacon, that's for the old days. Thanks to social media, there are less and less degrees ever of separation, maybe 2 or 3. So connections are more likely to come by. I have, I don't know, 30,000 LinkedIn connections or whatever. That's not even including second and third tier and who all they know. And so can I get to just about anybody through somebody I know or somebody who I know who they know? Of course. So if you're looking for me to make a connection that could be worth a lot to you, you might invest in mailing something in FedEx. But does it stop there? No. So first of all, my beautiful wife, when she handed this to me, was like, uh-oh, something sounds broken in there. Hope it isn't broken. So just that sound, known as dimensional mail, is something in there. Of course, not that a FedEx isn't going to get opened, but even if you sent it regular mail, that's going to get it open. Ooh, there's something in there, and I hope it's not broken. I got to open it, right? But it goes much, much further than that. So when I open it, first of all, it is a folder, right? So it's not just a letter in an envelope or whatever. It's a folder. So another 50 cents invested into getting this folder. And then there's the letter, which is printed out on, I don't know if you can tell over the video, but this is extremely substantial cardstock here. Maybe you can just hear it. This is a heavy-duty paper cardstock. You see when I go like that, it doesn't even crease or be hard to rip it. I mean, this is some substantial thing, and it's a letter, right? Mr. Steve Sipress, blah, name of my business, successful selling to Dear Steve. After reading your email about counterintuitive ways, just had to comment on how much I enjoy your wisdom. So there you go. Here's somebody who's on my email list, and I know who it is. I met this person at an event that I hosted, a networking event for business leaders in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area called CEO Scottsdale. I hosted that event once, I don't remember now, maybe it was twice a month for about 4, 5, 6 months. I was asked by a leading entrepreneur kind of networking an educational company to help them out with their miserable, dilapidated system around the country of having their groups around the country. And since that's one of my biggest claims to fame, is back from when I built the largest Dan Kennedy GKIC chapter in the world, that I'm excellent at that, building membership groups and having people show up and get a lot of value and all that. I'm asked and paid all the time. I actually had a paid program I sold years ago on how to do that. And so this company had me host this event, CEO Scottsdale, and I invited CEOs and top business leaders from the area, and lots of them attended. And the system was working spectacularly until, I mean, that company never did understand anything about marketing. They still don't. And so I think I don't know what happened, but I just got a message, an email even of something like, oh, we don't want to do it anymore or something. I was like, fine, I'll do it for someone else, which I have. But anyway, that's where I met this person. He showed up at a networking event, connection event. And I remember he's an attorney, and he was working with GM. Yep, GM. As an attorney, working remotely from here in Arizona, even though the company, of course, is located just outside of Detroit, Michigan, or maybe technically in Detroit. Anyway, Dear Steve, after reading your email, so by attending that event, he got onto my email list. So after reading your email about counterintuitive ways, just had to comment on how much I enjoy your wisdom. Now, could that comment have come in an email reply for free in 2 seconds? Of course. He could have invested 2 seconds of time and or 10 minutes of time or an hour of time, whatever, and just sent me an email. I can assure you, and maybe you can tell by looking at this when I'm done with this video, that would not have had the effect that this has instead. Instead, he said, yeah, I just had to comment on how much I enjoy your wisdom in an email, not in an email reply. So you don't fall for the nonsense of someone sends you a, oh, you're connected to someone or you're in a group with them on Facebook or social media, or they send you an email and you send them an email back and you think that's gonna do it. I get Facebook messages all the time, probably a dozen a day, looking to connect with me, send me a friend request so that then they can sell me their stuff. I'm not alone. I'm sure you get the same, right? They want to sell me their stuff. They want to ask me to connect them to somebody. They want me to join their group. They want me to, whatever it is, through a Facebook message or an email or a text message. What are you doing? This is how you do it. Drop something like this into a FedEx. Invest some time, money, energy, but it goes much further than that. So I thought I'd give you a small bit in return. He enjoys my wisdom. Here's something in return. I remember 2 things about my grandfather. One was his smile and the other was his pocket watch, blah, 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 blah. And he tells a story about a pocket watch. And so then he says, so he valued time and taught me to value it too. That's why I'm writing. So he ties in the story with the pocket watch to what he wants to talk about, valuing time. And he says, when I met you last summer, I could see you had a smile of your own, and I'm sure we'll get you through. But I didn't know if you had a pocket watch, so I thought I'd send you one. I wish you and your family the best. Fortunately, Graham Parsons. And so that's what this, sounding like something was broken in here. I'm like, well, what is it? And sure enough, well, I've already kind of, spoiler alert, told you what it is. Boom. It's pocket watch. How cool is that? And so I showed it to my beautiful wife, Michelle. I said, honey, see, it wasn't broken. Here's what was in there. And then when I came back to pick it up, take it to my office, she said, she set the time for me. So, yeah, there it is. As I record this on Facebook Live right now, it's 7:04 p.m. There it is, 7:04 p.m. So it's keeping perfect time. in the old pocket watch. Thank you to Grant Parsons. Do you think this gets my attention? Do you think I'm going to reply or respond where I might not to an email or a text message or a Facebook, or even if I did reply or a LinkedIn message, whatever, I get 100 of those a day. I don't get 100 of these a day. I don't get 100 FedEx packages with a folder in it, with a cardstock two-page personal letter, with a gift, which, it's not like I don't think this is some solid gold antique pocket watch. So it's not like, you know, I don't know, 10, 20 bucks, who cares? My point is, he invested 50 or 100 bucks in the package or whatever. And P.S., I enclosed my resume so you can see who I am. Now, he doesn't realize that I remember people I meet, especially cool people like Grant, so I remember him. And since it's almost 100% certain I will not be with GM after January 1st, this arrived just before the new year, I need your thoughts on good networking folks for me to speak with. In return, I can provide good information about the highest levels of the auto industry for anyone who might be interested. So right here we have an attorney with GM, who I'm guessing now that it's after January 1st, and he was almost 100% certain he's left GM. But I have a feeling he has a lot of contacts and knows a lot about legal issues in the auto industry, knows a lot of people in the auto industry, likely knows some very big wigs in the auto industry, because when he's an attorney for GM, he likely spoke to a lot of the C-level type of peeps over there. And keep getting these things, I don't know how to turn these off to keep popping up here. Um, so he's looking for thoughts on good networking folks for me to speak with. Again, do you think he's going to get a response? Of course, he's going to get a personal call from me. And he also included here on the other side of the folder, also on the equally heavy card stock, showing that he respects his own stuff. Other people will. Is a whole two-page resume thing here for me to see and look at who I might connect him to and what opportunities I might think are good for him. It'll be nice just to connect with him. Anyone sharp enough to be an attorney for GM, but 100 times more sharp enough to send a piece like this when you're looking to connect with somebody that you met 6 or 8 months before. So extremely smart by Grant. This is how you do direct mail. So now, can you mail this with everyday direct mail and mail out willy-nilly 10,000 pieces like this to everyone in the phone book or everyone within 5 miles of your business or any of that nonsense? Of course not. But if you, hopefully I'm not the only one he sent this to. Hopefully he picked 10 very influential people and said, I'm going to send this to 10 very influential people. Let's see how many people call me back. I'm guessing it's all 10 of them, but whatever. And let's see how many contacts I can get, because one contact, I mean, what if it's a contact with another opportunity for him or someone that wants to hire him? I'm guessing an attorney for GM might, on the low side, be making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. Do you think it's worth 50 or 100 bucks to send a package? Even if you send it to 10 people, that's 500 or 1,000 bucks you invest. Could possibly return hundreds and hundreds of times over. So this is how you do direct mail. You don't just send a message, and it's how you connect when you're serious about connecting or you have a serious prospect anyway. Do the math. Is it worth 50 or 100 bucks and some time invested into that prospect, whether it's for a connection or for a job or for an opportunity to become a client or whatever it is, and then think, should I send them a Facebook message? Gee, I send out 50 messages a day on LinkedIn. I don't understand why I don't get lots of clients. Gee, I'm sending lots of private Facebook messages. I don't understand why I get lots of clients. Well, send one of these a day and tell me you don't get clients. And that's it for Direct Mail Monday. Again, happy Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Day. Oh, and we got a comment here from one of my favorite commenters, Phil Brakefield. Talk about a sharp entrepreneur who understands this kind of stuff. And Phil says, well, now I've prefaced it. Hopefully he doesn't say you're totally wrong. What does he say? He would have really hit it out of the park if he'd had your name engraved and thanks on the back of the watch. That said, brilliant what he did. Now I got to look, because who says he didn't? Well, he did. But that comes from Phil, who again, as you see, is a genius in effective marketing and knows what he's talking about. Uh, I will, I don't know, I guess I'll toot my horn a little bit, former client, so maybe I had something to do with it, but really just a little bit. It's all Phil. And uh, and Phil also over 50 years in the promotional items business. So I won't ask how much, how little. Well, I will if you want to share how little Grant. I tangled the thing up here. How little Grant would have had to invest in a simple, again, nothing fancy about the pocket watch type of thing, but to go along with the story and to give off that feeling of to get that reciprocity of I gave you a gift. And no, I don't see an engraving anywhere on here, but see, that's from a true promotional items guy because Phil did the same thing. He always added value in every interaction he had with a prospect or a customer or a client or whatever he calls them in his business. He didn't just say, like, that's why he survived through the internet era where you can go to promotional items websites and find X number of pens for X number of pennies and whatever. People would order them for Phil. Why? Because he would add value like that. He would suggest ways to use it. And he would say, don't just buy the pocket watch for an extra buck. I can engrave Steve Sipress, thank you on the back, or Steve, thanks, or whatever. And then, holy moly, that would, as Bill says, that would really hit it out of the park. So he hit it out of the park. Maybe not an upper deck tape measure grand slam, which it would have been if he would have engraved it. But thanks for that input. Even without it, as Phil says, still brilliant what he did. Just added little brilliance from Phil. So take this lesson from me, add to it what you get there from Phil. Contact him for more brilliance, by the way, Phil Brakefield. And but my suggestion is if you are having trouble getting through to your ideal prospects or any connection you want to make, you're just not doing it right. Do it like this and tell me that you don't think I'm going to call Grant and thank him and look to connect him with whoever I can connect him to that'll be tremendously beneficial to him. Now, that being said, by the way, I do protect the relationship capital I've built up over the years. I never connect someone to somebody if it's not going to be a benefit for both sides, right? I don't like bother the tip top influential top people I know with like, oh, so and so sent me a watch, so I'm connecting it to you. I don't do that. But if I sincerely believe that it could be a mutually beneficial connection, you better believe I'm making the connection. Not to mention I'll go out of my way to do something for Grant, not just because the gift, because like I said, it's not like I don't think I'll ever wear or use the thing, but it showed me uh, care, that he cared, that he took the time, that he invested the money, and most of all, to me, being a marketing consultant and teacher, that he really understands the power of sending direct mail like this. So I don't know if this came from one of my emails or one of my videos that Grant saw, or if he got it from somewhere else. But take it from Grant, from me, and from the people I got it from. This kind of stuff works. And just take it and just think about it yourself. Would this work if you received this in the mail from someone who was trying to get you to buy their widgets for your auto repair shop or whatever it is? Would this work on you? Well, then it's likely it would work on someone else. So I hope you use strategies and tactics like this. Speaking of which, I'll be back every Monday with Direct Mail Monday with specific strategies and tactics for direct mail. But again, as you heard on here, it works all throughout, all different ways of communicating. And I will be back tomorrow. On Topical Tuesday, I'll talk about something that's topical that's in the news, and I'll share a business lesson from that as well. But thanks to Phil for the contribution. Thanks, obviously, especially to Grant Parsons for his tremendous contribution to today's Direct Mail Monday video. Again, happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks everyone watching on the replay over and out. Got to click this button twice.